And Ryan writes, I started a PhD program this past fall during the pandemic, so it's safe to say it's been a stressful few months. Watching games done quick has been so fun and helpful to decompress after reading hardcore theory and writing papers all day. Thank you to all the staff and runners who make these events amazing. Let's get that world record any % good ending for cancer and COVID. I agree. Thank you for that donation and good luck on that PhD program. And lastly, going back to that Minecraft run we just saw, an anonymous $65 donation has come in and said, I love all things Minecraft and I'm overjoyed to see Minecraft Dungeons running. I'm 7 and saved this money up from my allowance to donate to GDQ. Go Mifa SR. Thank you so much for that donation. That is so incredibly kind of you. So with that though, it is time for Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, any % by Jaxler. So Jaxler, let's see you destroy this game.
Alright, thank you for the intro. What's up everyone? Like previously mentioned, this is Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions for the Nintendo DS, what I like to call the best kept secret in speedrunning, because this game is so freaking cool and I'm so excited to share it with y'all. Before we get into it, let's do some introductions real quick. My name's Jaxler. I'm going to be the one doing the run.
Hello, I'm Mr. Shasta. I also run this game. We're actually the only 2 runners, by the way, so y'all enjoy this run. I hope y'all consider picking it up for sure.
Yes, please. This game is so cool.
And it is incredible.
Yeah. So some of you might be confused hearing this is a DS game. So Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions released both on consoles and on DS. However, this game is separate from the console releases. This game on DS is a 2D Metroidvania platformer with Spider-Man powers. I'm gonna briefly hop into the game real quick so I can briefly go over some of the movement tech. This game goes by so fast that it's kind of necessary for me to explain a couple of very basic rudimentary things before we begin. Okay, so at the start of the game, I'm gonna have access to 2 major forms of movement tech, web zips and web swings. So the zips, with a Z, are done in up, down, left, right, and diagonal directions with the A button. And if they're done mid-air, they'll pull you towards any nearby surface, whether that's a floor, a wall, or a ceiling. And so that's gonna be one of the big fundamental things of our movement. We also have access to a web swing mid-air, which kind of looks like your typical 3D Spider-Man movement if you're used to that. Last thing, which is kind of not like a movement ability, but just something that I want to name in advance because you'll be like, Jaxler, what are you talking about? At the start of the run, you'll be seeing me do a lot of these dive kick moves in order to gain speed. Those will put me into a rolling animation. I call those rollouts. That's not like an official name. That's what I just call it just because it helps me keep my head straight because, wow, this game is a rush. But before yeah, it really is. So before we start time, we're gonna turn on alt costumes mode because that won the donation bid war. Thank you to everyone who donated towards that. Meant a lot to me to see people contributing towards that for PCF. Before we start time, just to note, we're playing on friendly combat difficulty for faster fights, and within the game's unlockable time trial modes to skip some cutscenes later. But we'll mention that after a bit later into the run why that's important. All right, so time starts when I press A on this screen right here to start the game. I'll count off from 3 and we'll start time on go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, match through Stanley's dialogue here. So the run is gonna start off in Amazing Spider-Man's part of the map. I'll explain what that means. You're gonna see him as Ultimate Spider-Man here because of what y'all donated for, so thank you very much. Generally speaking, as you might expect from a basic rudimentary study of physics, the fastest way to zip between any 2 points is a straight line. But if there's not really anything close by, these dive kicks are really useful for building up lateral speed. Now, like I mentioned before the start of the run, these dive kicks will put you into what's called a rollout animation, and that rollout will actually conserve any amount of speed that you have, and that's actually jump cancelable. So I'm gonna be using those rollouts throughout the run, such as right here, to extend my speed a bit further. So here's Mysterio, up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And boop. And he's done. Okay, so that's sort of an introduction to combat. Pretty straightforward, though. I do the same sequence of punches every time, and he's pretty much just over and done. Now, we're going to be just doing some pretty sick movement. Something we didn't quite mention yet is just how flexible this game's movement is. So pretty much any web-based action can be canceled into another web-based action. So if I do a web zip, right there, I can cancel it into a web swing to completely change my positioning. And that's something that we'll bring up more later that I'll be doing all throughout the run. Shasta, we're in a different realm. Can you explain what's going on here?
Yeah, this is Noir Spider-Man now. Basically, Noir Spider-Man has the different powers than what Amazing Spider-Man has. I think in this case he can't. What can he do again?
He can't wall climb.
Yeah, he can't wall climb. That's what it was. So yeah, but he has the ability to actually find objects in like the background there, such as that switch. So that's kind of his different power that he can do. But you just can't really wall climb, which is pretty important for Spider-Man usually. However, he still has like the upgrade that Jaxler got earlier, which is the uppercuts, if I recall.
Yeah, so the uppercut is what's called an offense upgrade. These are optional upgrades that are located throughout the game, and they can give you new combat abilities and stuff. You'll get to see some of the combat in a little bit when we go take on Boomerang here. Okay, nice. That's a really tricky strat. There is a very small vent at the bottom of that tunnel, and I managed to get a web swing out in time so that I carried the momentum into a rollout animation through the vent. So that's
crazy.
That's a really hard strat, so I'm glad that I got to show that off. And now we're going into Boomerang, who's the first boss. So as you might expect, from bosses we get new Metroidvania upgrades. So he's gonna kind of expose at us, and then we're gonna kind of go Ultra Instinct on him in a second. So I'm gonna steal his Boomerang, do a full ground combo, uppercut him into a flip kick. Okay, missed the dive kick. Okay, so I'm gonna let him get back up. This is kind of a backup strat. And what I'm gonna do here is actually combo into the wall, so I can at least try to start. Okay, he's being really mean today. Please die. Goodbye. Thank you. So not quite as Ultra Instinct as I hope, but basically you want to combo him into the wall, so that way you can kind of reverse your aerial combo, which would normally break after a certain amount of hits. So now that we have the Hammer Slam, we can break these concrete barriers with our ground pound zip. You're going to see me do a bit of a setup here where I zip into the grate to break it with the dive kick. The dive kick actually has a really big hitbox and is really useful for combat as well, but it's so useful. It's the Swiss Army knife of this run, quite frankly. Gonna do a cheeky little strat here. Roll out, zip, dive kick, and then a straightforward zip so I can get right by that guy underneath his legs so that he doesn't shoot me with his Tommy gun. There we go. And then we're going to do a cool little strat here. Roll out on purpose so I can get the perfect lineup into that block break, into the damage upgrade. Nice. So those damage upgrades are super duper important. They give you a 10% damage boost on all of your attacks. And that's going to be really useful for the for the Silver main boss fight later. So at the start of the stage, I'm going to go for a little bit of a tricky skip here. 1 sec. 4.
Oh wait, now we're 29 Spider-Man. 29 Spider-Man does not have a web swing. Alright, now
yeah.
all you can do is glide everywhere.
Which is really cool, but kind of slow. So yeah, there's not too much, nothing super crazy going on here. Trying to do a couple of small platforming skips, like catching the other underside of a platform with the glide in order to just avoid having to backtrack a little bit. But as we get to the next boss, Vulture, this will probably be a good time to fit in 1 or 2 donations.
Perfect. You are definitely getting some love from donations too. So we have Lord of Loaves donating $15 and saying, donating for one of my favorite games ever, Shattered Dimensions, but more importantly to end cancer. Best of luck to Jaxler and happy AGDQ.
Thank you.
We have a $50 donation from Sunhat Zenya, who writes, thanks to all the GDQ runners and staff for making this event happen. Good luck, Jaxler. Shatter those dimensions. Jaxler hype!
Thanks, Sarah. Hype. All right, so during all those donations, we got abysmal Vulture luck.
Yeah.
So Vulture is pretty random. What you want to try to do is get him into the pit. He's in the middle of the arena. This is really unfortunate. So I'm going to try to combo him over there, but it's probably not going to matter. Oh, he's going to get up too. Well, this is everything I didn't want to happen. So
Parody right there, unfortunately.
yeah, this is cursed. So trying to air combo him a little bit. I'm just gonna wait for him to come over here, put him into the pit, and then we'll go Ultra Instinct on him. Again, I'm trying to combo him into the wall so that I can reverse my combo midair. That's not normally intended. After you see that flip kick attack, you're normally supposed to go back into the ground and try again. But if you have the wall behind you, you can actually reverse direction. Shasta, can you explain why I went through that portal here?
All right, this is a what's called a web conduit. Basically, you have to go through a bunch of gauntlet enemies in here, and if you do that, you can get a power that one of the previous Spider-Man has. In this case, you can get the ability web swing, which is extremely important to say the least.
Yeah, so luckily they bail you out and give you that one right away. So just some optimized combat there. That was a 30 flat out of that combat. That is ridiculously
really good
for how bad Vulture went.
Something to know as well too about the combat is that if you don't get hurt at all, if you look at the bomb right there, it's actually a little thing. There's
Yeah,
like
it's not gonna appear quite yet because we're not engaged in combat. But
yeah, once again the combat, like you'll see it, but based your momentum meter, and your momentum will build up over time basically if you just don't get hurt and just do a lot more damage.
Yeah,
and that's really important for the run because with more momentum, move faster.
Yeah, you can do some.
That's good.
You can do some really wild stuff. Okay, right here.
Your animations are really fast.
I'm gonna
too.
go for kind of a task strat. Let's see if I hit it.
I believe.
Oh, too late. Okay,
Oh.
that was close. So
Really
what I
close.
was going for was a bit of a sequence break. There's a damage upgrade up there that you can't get without Silvermane's upgrade, but I'm just gonna grab this back up instead. As I fall into it, oh, that's really mean. So I did the timing right. I just got blown up by the bomb anyway. You time a web zip as you're falling. There's a bit of a delay before your web zip actually comes out. So what happens there is I do a falling web zip into the power up. So as soon as I break the dialogue box, I just zip right out of there. But unfortunately, I got some weird positioning there. So we are on our way right now to another web conduit. We kind of enter a cycle with this game where we go, well, after this web conduit, we kind of go between the different worlds, fighting a boss in each. Oh, game please, thank you. But before we can do the next boss here, we have to go do this web conduit. Noir has the ability to find hidden levers in the environment, and we need to borrow that from him from his conduit right here. So what I'm gonna do is go to the left side, 1, 3, 4, and set up a combo in a very specific way so I can get these guys all kind of lined up. And that'll just give me this last guy. And now we've got electric shield enemies. Shasta, if you want to go into your usual rant.
So these electric shield enemies, basically, if you don't knock their shields away or take their shields away at all, they will always just carry you every time, unfortunately. Which is very important, which you don't want to have happen because, like, one, it ruins your momentum, two, hurts. So you have health in the video game. That's pretty important.
Yeah, so something you saw me do right there is I actually used the damaging hitbox of the web swing to handle all those enemies there. You obviously can kind of just ignore the enemies if you want to in this game, but by doing those attacks through them, I actually build up extra momentum for later. And while that doesn't seem like much, it's going to be extremely crucial for the Tinkerer fight, and especially the Electro fight if we can save some of it up. So right there you saw me store some of my momentum from zips into web swings. Swings are a little bit tricky to build up with speed, but they carry any momentum that you had going into them into lateral speed. So right there in those big open areas is a really good spot to use them. You can just go flying through that map if you time them right. All right, so we've made it over to the Tinkerer fight, so I'm gonna vibrate over in the corner here while I kind of explain what's going on. This fight doesn't operate like the other fights. Rather than actually beating up Tinker, we have to deal with his despicable band of hooligans and then destroy, his robots, and and deal with 3 generators. Now, the way that you save time in this fight is a bit non-traditional. I can beat up these robots pretty much as fast or as slow as I want to, and it won't matter because the generators kind of reopen on a set cycle. So what I need to do is have a lot of momentum. One of the properties of having high momentum is that your attack animations happen faster. So that means you go from individual punch to individual punch faster than you would at like a lower momentum level. So what that means is that because of the faster attack animations, I can actually clear each generator in isolation much faster. And now I'm at max momentum, so you're gonna see me go like completely ham on this
Completely
generator
Ultra
right
Instinct,
here.
basically.
There's a couple more properties to having high momentum, but we'll go into them more so when we get to some of the other boss fights.
Just know that Jax was going Ultra Instinct right now.
Yeah, I'm going a little Super Saiyan.
Just a little bit.
Oh, that was
Also,
close.
also a little fun fact for you. Tinker is actually voiced by Jim Cummings, who is the voice of Winnie the Pooh and other characters.
All right, there we go. So now we're just kind of vibing here for a second while we wait for Tinkerer to start talking about stuff, I guess. Tinkerer is just kind of an interesting character, but
You sold some
unfortunately-
robots to Electra, basically. We'll see later.
We'll see him in a little bit. But
Yeah.
for now, we get reinforced web from him, which allows us to destroy these metal grates. Luckily, there's a convenient damage up right here, so we're just gonna yoink that real quick. And then zip right into the vent here, and then I'm gonna do a roll to instantly put me into free fall into 2 zips. Boom, just like that. And now we're actually going to be doing something a bit unintended. This run is mostly glitchless, but we're going to be doing the one major sequence break of the game right here, which is called Electro Early. Let's see if I can get setup list. Oh, setup list, let's go.
Easy.
That's really hard. Okay, so normally you cannot do what I just did there. Ah! Okay,
Oh, no.
I'll explain what happened there in a second. We're fine. Anyway, you normally can't get up that little room right there without the electro web ability you get from beating Silvermane. But if you do a very precise web zip, you can actually get straight through there with no worries. This has the benefit of completely skipping a revisit to this section with a lot harder enemies. And overall, I think the skip saves several minutes. So I'm gonna
Definitely
back
decent
all.
though.
Yeah. Oh, don't blow up me. Okay, cool. So you might be wondering when I know to end the combos. For the grunt enemies, you know they're dead when they drop their weapon. That's sort of the visual cue. So basically I don't even like count hits or anything like that because damage is dependent on the momentum meter, like we mentioned. But what I'm doing is I'm paying attention to the weapons, certain like animation cues. Oop, this could be disaster. Okay, cool. No more disaster.
Great.
I'm paying attention to certain enemy cues to know when to strike. Oh, I hit that too.
Oh, yeah. That was
If you're
difficult
too
too.
late on that, you just hit the electrical wall. And we have almost maximum momentum for this boss, Electro. So I'm gonna go Omega Ultra Instinct. So just sit back and watch.
Electro basically is just like any other boss. Just gonna try and infinite him as much as you can. Oh, the double infinite though. Ooh.
All right, I'm gonna wait for him to get back up. So I should get a run around on this side. Boom.
Also, Jax was using the downwards web into the ground there in order to reset the combo.
That should kill.
I think-
Nice.
Nice. That was really good. That's important to know
Wow.
too. Is that downwards web as well?
Yeah, that was a really good fight. So yeah, we're using those dive kicks as well to reset sort of his combo break.
Maybe got kind of a Metroid speed booster mechanic going on here.
Oh yeah, it can run up walls too. If you need another excuse as to why you need to play this game, that's a thing that exists.
It's so cool.
It's
oh my
so
god, this game's
fun.
amazing.
Yeah, play this game, please.
Go out and play it. It's pretty cheap on eBay, if I recall.
All right, you're gonna see me do a really cool spider boost strat here. Let me see if I hit it. Zip, zip, boom. Nice, got it. Okay, so one of the properties of the spider dash is if you're running at at corners, it'll either just get you straight up the wall, or you can press A to zip around the corner if the corner's kind of like facing you. So you can use that to do some really fun stuff, especially in 100%, which I should probably get around to running at some point.
You really
But we're going
should.
into probably what I would consider one of the scary. I don't know if you would agree, Shasta. Please break. Noir 2 has some of the scariest stuff.
I agree,
I don't
honestly.
know if you want to explain kind of what they added here in the revisit that makes it so awful.
There's a few different. I don't know exactly what they are, but they look, kind of like looking like mines, I guess. Be different with some of those. Or anything else?
Yeah. They put
Yeah,
them right in your
that's a
flight
big one.
path. It's so mean.
It's very mean. And also, the fight itself, once we get to her, is pretty difficult too.
Yeah.
And rather, it's very scary because it's easy to fail, but We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, so right here, this is a pretty straightforward conduit. Nothing really crazy going on here. For whatever reason, like the enemies in this part of the game are really weak for like even this point in the game, and especially Calypso, as you'll see in a little bit. So this combat's relatively straightforward. I don't have too much to talk about, but we unfortunately don't really have time to add anything more messages-wise because after this we have two of the hardest runes in the run, which are the runs directly after activating this glide conduit. I'm actually going to be kind of quiet here while I try to attempt these. Lots of obstacles in my way here.
Good luck, gamer.
That's fine. One hit's fine. Hole in one, baby. Let's go. Okay, at least the second one was good. And then I'm going to zip right into this room to activate the Calypso dialogue. So at the start of this fight, you're going to see me kind of jump on her head a little bit. Looks a little bit strange. This isn't super useful. It's kind of funny. She teleports if you push her too far. But the reason I like doing it, at least, especially in a marathon setting, is if you zip her at the start of the fight, she'll disappear for a little bit because you actually can't damage her until you take care of her grunts. So if I zip her at the start of the fight, she's out of the way so she can't bother me. So 1, 2, 3, 4 into a web swing, and that should kill the first one. And then I also web swing through Calypso so that she disappears a second time. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 roll behind her, back kick. Goodbye.
Nice. If we don't one cycle her, she'll just the fight just lasts another cycle. There to defeat more grunts basically. So that's why that's very important to do that more than anything else. Lasts like way longer.
This room is also sick, by the way.
I think in general, once you get the glide ability, find that if all the web swing stuff is just super cool.
Oh yeah.
It's just, you just go even faster than what you're rigged.
So something we haven't really kind of talked about yet is this game kind of actually has an advanced buffering system for all of its movement. So what that means is that the game buffers your inputs a little bit if you're in an animation. So if I'm in an attack animation and I press the next attack early, it'll make the next attack happen on the earliest possible frame. And this also applies to things like web movement. So a lot of the stuff I do is actually made a lot more interesting by the fact that I have to keep this buffer system in mind. It's a little hard to point out like where I buffer zips and all that jazz just because this run goes by so fast. But big swing right here. And then I'm gonna zip right here so it instantly cancels my wall cling. And then from Calypso, we actually got the ability to shatter illusions. So it's a really quick trek to Silvermane here. This is the fight where the damage upgrades that we've been getting throughout the run are the most critical. Really tough strat here. Yes, hit it. Okay. Nice. So if you aim that the wrong way, you either completely miss the ceiling or hit the electrical field and you just fall like 30 feet. It's really bad. Okay, Silvermane. Silvermane is kind of programmed like a big brute enemy, but he has what's called super armor on all his attacks. He's being really nice to me now. So what that means is that when he attacks, you can damage him still, but he doesn't suffer knockback. And so if he's in the middle of a windup, I've been slain. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm getting destroyed by super armor right now. Okay, there we go. If he has super armor, that means that you can still damage him, but it'll cause you, he'll keep attacking you, and it can be kind of obnoxious to deal with. But he was okay. We'll take it. Oh, I hit the zip. Let's go.
Yo.
Okay, that zip is a small frame window to hit. I messed that one up a lot. I was really hoping I got to show that one off. Meta.
Before it's irrelevant, by the way, I want to point out that every single portal that Jack was going, the reason why we're going through them right now, or rather, like the reason why I play in time trial mode is because you skip a little mig and it happens between each portal that takes forever, basically, and it like slows down the run a lot. So be thankful we're not seeing that basically.
Yeah. You're welcome. The task still has them all in, and it's just. The task is amazing, and it's just, oh, I have to watch all these portal cutscenes. There are actually
2 tasks in this game, by the way. There are 2 of them, and they're both great. 8% and 100%.
So now we're headed into Mysterio's, for lack of a better term, Shattered Dimension. This is by far the hardest part of the run. Ooh, nice, hit that strat. That's a new one I actually added a couple days ago. that zip pattern right there. Again, there's just so much going on that it's hard to make note of. All you need to know is this part of the game has the hardest combat and the hardest movement. If you've been enjoying everything you've been seeing so far, this is just kind of like the greatest distillation of all of that. Right here, I'm gonna start a combo on this brute, chuck this guy over my shoulder, grab the last shield, kill the brute with the shield, so that these two are in the perfect position for an aerial combo. So that's that strat right there.
Let me just throw that guy.
Yeah, you just gotta chuck him.
So good.
And then I try to beat these, I don't even, are they planets? What do you think those are? What's your theory, Shasta?
I don't even know. Look like floating asteroids. Maybe it's like a cake or something.
They kind of look
I don't know.
They kind of look like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah,
All right,
maybe.
really cool room right here, or set of rooms rather. So I start up a spider dash, jump up the ceiling to maintain it. All of these barriers you can't break without the spider dash, so that kind of skips going around the full rotation of the room. And then at the end, I cancel it with a jump into a web swing so I can start crawling faster. Then I hit a zip here into a really long extended zip so I can get all the way up here. Now this is kind of a skip, I guess, of a web swing puzzle, but you can kind of just wall jump it. All of those purple shadowy surfaces that you see, they are programmed such that you actually cannot interact with webs with them. You just can't. So it makes a lot of the movement here really scary. Oh, this is danger. Yep, okay, that happens sometimes. I mean, yeah, you gotta be really careful on the enemies with the shock rifle because it does a lot of damage on both your health bar and your momentum. And as you can tell, we haven't picked up any health upgrades. We shouldn't need them. You wanna die, buddy? Thank you. So right here, I'm gonna chuck this guy over my head so I can set up a giant web swing combo. Ooh, he wanted a little bit of action. Hold on a second.
Eric, all these enemies have about 200 health as well, so they take a lot of hits.
Yeah, which is about as much as I have right now. So, okay, so 2, and then just 1 brute. I want to take specific note to this next room coming up. This is probably my favorite room in the whole run just because of the strat. So I get a spider dash going, jump, zip around the corner, and then boom, you zip the top of that ceiling and it gets you right through that room. That room is
cool.
really complicated, and it's made really trivial. Right here is a little skip. I think you're supposed to have the glide conduit for Amazing Spider-Man there, but if you have enough momentum, you can actually wall run up it and not have to deal with any of the puzzles there.
I don't think even casually I use the glide there. It's just a really weird, precise puzzle.
Yeah. All right. There we go, and we're going into the last major fight. Oh, okay.
Before the boss fight,
I
please.
managed to. So this first phase is really scary. Those 2 grunt enemies spawn with handheld bombs, which is, you know, really probably, I don't know what like Mysterio's like company practices are, but it has to violate at least like 40 OSHA violate. I don't know. There was an attempt at a joke there. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you.
I don't forgive me. Oh, and I'm getting destroyed by the energy. Oh, there was a bomb on the ground. Okay, great.
All right.
Just sitting there.
We take those.
So, again, the web swing attack is really good for crowd control. So that's what you're going to see me use a lot. Swings and the zips and the ground pounds. We also grabbed back kick. Pretty early on in the run, you've been seeing me use it, but maybe haven't really seen it because it's pretty subtle. Back kick is a move that, as the name might imply, hits right behind you and does a lot of damage and knockback. So you'll see me go for it, especially. Oh, that's unlucky. You'll see me especially go for it on the brute enemies, because it can. For some of the brute enemies, it can actually stun it out of its attack, which is really useful. Because as you can see, I'm fighting 4 of them at the same time right now.
This is the last fight I gotta do here, by the way.
Before Mysterio, at least.
Yeah, four giant brute. And nice, pretty good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good segment. Okay, so now we're going into the Mysterio fight. This might be the most RNG heavy fight, and it's right at the end of the run, unfortunately. But he can do a whole number of different attacks. Some of them have super armor, most of them don't. So I'm gonna try to get him into combos, but I have to be quiet here so I can react. So I'm just gonna kind of taunt him by. Oop, that's a bad attack.
It's not a good one. You got
Yeah,
stun there.
so you can get an opening out of it if you react fast enough. Oh, he got into super armor before I could. Okay, so got him next to the wall, so pretty standard stuff. Something we didn't mention is that one of the properties of momentum in this game is that higher levels of momentum add more bonus hits to your aerial combo. So what I have to do is I actually have to pay attention to where my momentum is at, so I know how many combo hits I have left, because I'm trying to combo further, and your combo trees are dependent on when Spidey wants to do a flip kick. So manage to interrupt him there, get him into another.
Oh.
This
Go
should
on. Go on.
Yes,
Yo,
let's go.
that was sick.
That was a really good clean finish. All right, we'll take it.
That was really good.
All right, so that was the final boss. We still got a little bit more of game to go before the run is over. This has been such a blast, and thank you all immensely for being a part of this collectively. But as all Metroidvanias should be ending, we got an escape sequence. So I'm gonna start off with a bunch of swings because they're the fastest way to go through these open areas. Roll out into another set of zips. Now here's a really fun strat. I'm gonna start a spider dash, and I'm gonna keep it till the very end of the level. If you time your jumps correctly and zip around the corners, you can just stay stuck to the ceiling for the entirety of the segment and skip all the required platforming here. Now, time will be coming up soon. Once we go up this bend and across the ceiling, you'll see me come to a a portal that we have to escape through. Time stops when I cross through the platform, so get ready on time. And time. Okay,
GG.
so GG's. So I was timing in the back, so that was on my count a 26:53, which is pretty good for how nervous I was going into this. Yeah, not bad. For reference, PB is 25:23, so not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, so that was Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions for the Nintendo DS. I hope you all enjoyed that. We've been trying for so long to get this game in, and we're so happy that we finally got to show it off.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I actually had shown the Tassus game originally, and that's why I picked it up myself. Tassus game, by the way, please watch it, is phenomenal. It's if you thought this movie was insane here, which it was, it's even crazier in the past. So,
yeah. This game has so much untapped potential. Like, I can't even explain. Like, you might be able to grasp a little bit of it, but like there's just so much more of this game to be explored.
It really is. Plus, also, if y'all want a free world record, be sure to run the 100% as well, because no one has done that video proof yet. So yeah.
So hey,
maybe it's a little challenge for you.
If that's your speed, then go for it. Before we sign off, I'd like to give a couple of shout outs. First of all, we mentioned the tasks a little bit. I'd like to thank a random game tasser. He's the person who made the tasks. So it would be wrong of me not to shout him out on the GDQ stage. Thank you, Shasta, for joining me on the mic.
Heck yeah, gamer.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone who donated, not only for the bid war, but for this event, period. Thank you all so much. Big shout outs to Speedruns Rochester. They're my local speedrun crew. They are all so ridiculously awesome, and it's maybe the person I am. So
also,
thank
please
you all
follow
so
Jaxler.
much.
Please follow Jaxler on Twitch
if
at
you
Jaxler1.
Want, I was gonna leave that for the end, but
Jaxler will also be running Scooby-Doo 900 Fright Slayer on this marathon as a race.
So that'll be Friday night.
And don't you have world record still in that game?
No, I got bodied. But I'm gonna be racing my good friend Snowy Moogle, so stay tuned for that. Real quick before I go, if you're interested in learning this game, we don't really have a Discord. So just feel free to message me on like Twitch Whispers or Twitter. My Twitter's JaxlerSR. If you're interested in getting started running this game. But with that, we're kind of running out of time. So look forward to the Scooby run. I'm gonna throw it back over to the hosts. Thank you so much for having me, and enjoy the rest of GDQ. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
That was amazing. I blinked and I missed that whole run, but oh my gosh, wasn't that crazy awesome? Or just, wow, mind blown. Anyway, I have a really special donation for Jaxler. Go Spidey Go has donated $1,000 with the comment of, go Jaxler, get it. And yeah, Jaxler got it. Awesomely too. Thank you so much for that. We also had some special love for Jaxler with some of our donations. Corundum Core has donated $25 with the comment, "Hey Jaxler, Ruby here, sending a warm-up gamer from the Speedruns Rochester family. We're so proud of you for getting a chance to run at AGDQ 2021, and we know you're going to crush it." Monster 860 has also donated $25 and says, "Hey Jaxler, I just wanted to come and give you some upgamers." Upgamer. Anyways, good luck on your Shattered Dimensions run as well as your Scooby-Doo run later. And if it's just as fast as that one, I'm so tuning in for that. And then we have a $10 donation from Lemura who says, "Good luck, Jaxler. Have fun and keep being a cutie." Donation will go to Runner's Choice. We also have a 404 Error. Oh, I like that name. They've donated $25 and say, "I don't want anime. I want speedruns of Jaxler Man." Me too, that'd be cool. Thank you for that donation. We have an anonymous donation of $50 that says, "This Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions run is off the hook. Great movement, great combat, great commentary. Have to donate." I agree. We also have a $5 donation from Metalbeak, and they say, this is talking about Zik. So Zik is one of my favorite speedrunners out there. It has been a blast watching him Spyro over the past couple months and seeing him completely break the game. It's been mind-blowing. Good luck on the run and get that gray, I mean eggs. Thank you for that donation, Metalbeak. But with that, my time hosting at AGDQ 2021 online is officially over. I've had an absolute blast taking part in my first GDQ of any kind. It's been an honor and a privilege to be here hosting for all of you. Hope to see you again sometime, and I hope everybody stays nice and cozy. With that, take care, have a good one, and sit tight for this short little break. Bye.
Hey everybody, what is good? What it do? You are watching Awesome Games Done Quick 2021 online, coming at you live from everybody's house, powered by Twitch and raising money to benefit the Prevent Cancer Foundation. My name is Iggy Zig. I'm super stoked to be seeing all of you 500,000 heroes. Thank you so much. And I'm here to not only bring the hype, but to bring the nostalgia too for this trio of classic PlayStation platforming speedruns. We're going to be starting off with a run of Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon, run by longtime friend of GDQ, Zik3. Oh, this game is going to be an 90%, and I just fall in love every time I see it. This remaster is incredible. It's a great run. It's a great run to watch, and you're going to be seeing it in just a little bit. But first off, a couple donations. We have $50 from Zeta Drakon. Says, hey guys, first donation for me. I've always wanted to donate to GDQ, and finally got to do so. Keep up the great work, and I hope everyone the best of luck on their runs. And of course, we have Apple Caps with $100. Says, it's the Wand of Gamelon, my boy. Let's see this cursed game on the screen, people. Where are we at on that? Let me do a quick check on that. We're at $36,000 out of 160,000. We're on the push to 600K. We're on the push to Wand of Gamelon. Let's make it happen, everybody. But now, it's time to fly. It's time to fry, and it's time to have fun with Zik and his Ignited Trilogy run of Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon. Take it away.